All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to FFTV. This is Final Podcast 4, and for the next hour or so, will be one of the most surreal experiences we've ever had. Please excuse me, but I am simultaneously overhyped and starstruck at the same time. We have
so
a very special guest party member. At 7 years old, I'm gonna start it off with a story. At 7 years old, I asked my brother Sean, I said, what is the name of the man with the gun arm? He paused for a minute as if he had to think. He said, that's Badaz. And I said, okay, well, Sean and Badaz became my favorite characters of any video game of all time. Of course, later, I learned that their real names were Cloud and Barret, and that you have the ability to change the name of the characters. But even then, I understood his reasoning for the name Badaz. Badaz, bad as. I got it. It took me a few years, but I got it. So allow me to introduce the voice of the most badass video game character of all time with a heart of gold. The voice of Barret Wallace. He is known for his incredible performance as Barret Wallace in the remake. It is John Eric Bentley.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? That's hilarious. I did not. That's really cool, man. That was your brother who wrote that in there?
Yeah, his name was badass, but he didn't want to tell him, a 7-year-old kid. He was like, badass.
He get a spanking from his mom when you walking around. Hey, can we go and play badass? Your mom be like, what did you teach him?
The funny thing, I remember running around saying badass a lot. And I imagine what my mom was thinking there.
That's hilarious. I got a black friend named Badaz, Mom. That's hilarious, man.
I got a friend named Badaz. He's got a gun for an arm.
Yeah, exactly.
And a good place. What? See you, Mom.
See you, Mom.
Talk to you later. I'll have him over for lunch one day.
They're not gonna take over evil corporation.
That game will take you places. It was a cool game. I mean, it was what turned me on to RPGs. I'm an only child, so video games was how I got away from so many different things that I was coming up with. I mean, I grew up in Chicago on the South Side, so I could either go outside and hang out with my friends when they were available to hang out, and all of them had brothers and sisters, or I could stay in the house and play my Atari, and so, or read, because my mom taught me to read at a very young age. So that's what I had. But sometimes, because I was an only child, I just wanted it to be my little world, right? Mm-hmm. So all the things that we as gamers and we as fanboys love, that's what I did growing up. So it's kind of like, all right, this is my world. Greek and Roman mythology, comic books. I didn't have to interact with anybody else. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, this is great. And then all of a sudden, I see this game when I'm a little older called Final Fantasy 7. I'm like, all right, let me check it out. I'm like, whoa, and there's a black character in an RPG, because I knew what RPGs were. Mm-hmm. I'm like, and he doesn't die?
And he doesn't die.
And so I was hooked.
Hey, man, I was hooked. You said Final Fantasy 7 takes you places. Man, it literally took you places. It took you to Final Fantasy 7. That's you, baby.
Literally.
That's you.
Literally. We were all the time I'm reading the side scroll and going, I wonder what he sounds like. Well, this is how I would do him as a kid. And then all of a sudden, we get this wonderful, unbelievable opportunity and a blessing to be able to do it. And I'm like, this is really cool.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic hit. No, it's really cool.
We were talking before you jumped in, and I was like, the thing I don't know if John's gonna realize is that Barrett's been around since '97, and like in our mind we had our own voice for him, mm-hmm. But like now that you've done the voice for Barret in remake, it's like your voice has now like retroactively replaced all of the memories that we've had in our mind of Barret Wallace growing up, and now you are Barret Wallace for us, and we've known you since '97. You know what I mean? That's why it's extremely exciting.
How you been?
How you been, man?
I've aged kind of slowly, but it's fun, man. It's like I said, it's an unbelievable opportunity. I'm a fanboy, so for me, it's kind of a dream come true. On top of, I freak out sometimes. I'm in a booth and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing his voice.
Yeah,
like, that's some wonderful art. Oh my gosh!
Wait a minute, that's me.
Oh yeah, that's me. So even playing the game, I'll never forget going to where were we here? E3.
Oh yes. Yeah.
And
were you at E3 2019?
Yes.
I was there
My
too.
son and I, it's cool. My son and I were there, and they had invited us. They're like, hey, come down, and you can come into the booth, and you can do this. And I'm like, okay, it's all good. I'm going to come with my son. And so we're there, and he's like, Dad, there it is. There's the Final Fantasy thing. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's go check it out. Let's, see what they'll do. So we go, and I didn't know anything about what the setup was going to be or any of that. I got my hat pulled down, and that's just me. And we go in, and we have to go through this special entrance because, of course, the line sign, it's all full. And they're like, oh, yeah, we know you. All right, come on in. I'm like, all right, cool. So we go in, and we sit down, and they talk, and all of a sudden the guide goes, yeah, we have a very special guest today, and I'm going, who? I'm just like, for real? I'm like, cool, somebody's gonna, and I'm thinking it's Neil. Like, Neil's gonna get in and like, yeah, so this is it. And my son is like, and I'm like, what you looking at me like that for, man? Stop. And the guy's like, Barret Wallace is in the audience, and I'm like, man.
No, I'm just trying to play the game, man.
It's too late. Right. And I'm in the front row, and everybody's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta be on.
He opened up the floodgates.
Yeah, I'm like, I just wanted to enjoy. So it was cool because I got to meet a lot of people. Got to meet a very dear friend now who does the podcast, Matt Denario, who reached out to you actually. It's just, I got to see people, and that was my first experience of seeing the fans of Final Fantasy. And so they said, okay, well, do you want to play? And it was the demo version. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I stepped up and I looked at everybody and I said, son, you play. And he's like, are you sure? I'm like, you play. And I just walked around, man. I just walked around watching people play me and Cloud, and I was just like, shout out to Cody. He's killing it. It's like, oh my gosh, I remember that's the scene where we had to face the lobster or the crab thing. The scorpion. Yes. And I'm like,
a lot of crustaceans.
Cool. And they're like looking around like, oh my God, I didn't know you were right there. Because I got so fascinated by the joy that everybody had to finally play this thing that was, we're going to have Final Fantasy the remake, the 7, the remake. And people are playing it and they're all excited. And I just got charged. And at the end of it all, they're like, you didn't play? I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. It just made my day. And that's when I realized, oh, this thing is much bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't need to play it. I was there. I don't need to play it.
Yeah, but it's different. So when you play it, for me, it took me a minute to go, oh, that's my voice. All right. Oh, I remember when I was in the booth and I said this. Oh, I remember this is coming up. And then it took me to get the actual game to have it here at home and go, all right, now I don't have to know it's me. That's me. Okay, let's play. You know what I'm saying? But that experience was I guess it was the foretelling of how big the fandom or the fan base was for Final Fantasy and how appreciated the character Barret was. I didn't know that because the first game, Final Fantasy VII, Barret is kind of a caricature, and he's like what when people watched Sam Jackson back in the day, everybody wanted to say MFer, right? That wasn't of the culture, pretty much. You're like, oh, I like him. He's a black man who gets to say MFer anytime he wants. And he says it so many different ways, you know, and so everybody would walk around trying to imitate the Pulp Fiction speech. So it was just funny to watch. And here it is. Well, Barret was kind of like that for a lot of gamers coming up who were like, oh, yeah, this dude, those little things, he's cussing. This is what I think he's saying. You know what I mean? So everybody thought that Barret was this big, black, brute, badass dude. And yes, he is a badass dude, but I didn't want him to be a big, black brute. I didn't want him to be a caricature. And so I wanted to show the different levels that he had, and I wanted to be able to read him how I heard him, but also it's a mixture of how my voice along with a couple of my relatives' voice, and I'm like, all right, this is a perfect blend. So I wanted that to not be this stereotype, one that misrepresented black folks, my people, myself, my family, my culture, and honestly, the United States, because I knew this was a worldwide thing. So I didn't want that to happen. And lo and behold, you know, 2020 comes and the game is released, and you know, prior to, and we see all this cultural craziness that's going on. And I'm like, praise God that, you know, he put it on my heart to do him this way so that we wouldn't have to be a caricature to continue to flame the fires that we're dealing with in our country right now.
Man, I'm so happy. I'm so happy you brought that up, because in fact I did have that as one of the questions, but I'll just go ahead and skip to it now. Like, I feel like it is something that really should be celebrated. That you've taken this character, and I mean, yes, a character for sure. He did have depth to his character in the original. He did have a lot of heart. But the way he was personified, or I guess in the localization, or I guess in just that time, that frame, yeah, it kind of like started to becoming this Sam Jackson or Mr. T wannabe in the localization. And but I don't think it was there was a character there, you know what I mean? There was their depth, and you know, if you look past you know, the stereotypes, and you see that depth in the original game. And I think what you did that should be celebrated is that you took that, you found that depth within that character, you found the heart, and you just brought it to life. And I believe that Barret has become this, you know, like an inspiring and memorable character. And like you said, as a black character in a video game, nonetheless, but in an RPG, you said at the beginning of the show, like you don't really see that. And I think that you have set a new example, set a bar, and it's something that should be celebrated. So obviously, I think, as you said, you know, you wanted to bring this new life to this character. I mean, I guess you felt that kind of responsibility for doing that. Like you felt
like a heavy weight, man.
Yeah, heavy weight.
Like I said, I come from a background where my dad was chased by the Klan when he was a kid all the time in Alabama. My mom was a teacher. She's an educator, along with my aunts and uncles in Nashville, Tennessee, in the South. And, you know, as a matter of fact, she was across the street when folks were getting beat down. The SNCC organization was getting beat down just for doing a sit-in at Walgreens and Woolworths. And so it was really, I come from a family of educators, and I come from a family who went through the civil rights movement. And their parents, my grandparents, went through sharecropping and all kind of crazy stuff. So I knew the weight that was on my shoulders to portray a black character, number one. But then to portray a character that honestly is literally, figuratively, vocally, everything bigger than life, and over the top, I wanted to make sure that we still were able to portray that character with whatever sense of realism that Final Fantasy has, but within the mindset that we're not playing a caricature or a stereotype that the world pretty much has. I mean, the world has their own stereotypes anyway, but I was very well aware of the responsibility that I had to represent and represent well. I'll never forget going over to Mexico in school. I played football for the University of Minnesota. So my last year after I finished playing, because I was redshirted, so I had 5 years. My last year, I had to finish a language requirement. Last thing on the doggone list. I'm like, dang it, I didn't finish all my Spanish. And I know why, because I ran from that shit. I was just wasn't good, you know. And I mean, I did everything. I tried to do Italian, I tried to do French, and then finally I'm like, I'm just gonna do Spanish because everybody here speaks Spanish in America, and I'll be able to do it. And anyway, so I went to Cuernavaca, and I'll never forget walking the streets by myself a lot, going, wow, you know, let me go get some comic books, right? So I went to the book stand, and it was during the whole OJ stuff, which was weird. And I went to the book stand, and I was looking for the comic books, and I saw the comic books. I'm like, oh, okay, dang it, they're in Spanish, but that'll help me. All right, cool. And then I saw another row of comic books. And I mean, you know how we have Marvel and DC? Mm-hmm. And it's like a lot, because there's a lot of characters. They had a whole row of these kind of thick trade paperback books, and they were all these depictions of what slavery brought on of African Americans, black folks. It was the character of the Pickaninny, the character of Uncle Willie or something it was called, the Mammy, all these crazy things, and Lil Sambo was the name of them. And I'm like, what the? Yeah. So I couldn't be angry because I'm like, I'm in Mexico. Is this how they see us? And there was a row of like doggone Marvel, and I'm like, this is crazy. And there were issues. It wasn't just like one. It was like, okay, this is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3, and on the cover it showed these crazy depictions of how they perceived us, and it was okay, you know, for it to be out. And I'm going, nah, let me buy one just so I can make sure that this isn't what I think it was, what I thought it was, and beyond. And I went, this is how they see us in Mexico.
Buy them all and just to get them off the shelf.
When I tell you there's a lot, there is a lot, and it threw me. And I was still a student, so it's not like I had the money to do that anyway. And they're going to restock them probably the next day. So I'm looking, and it hurt my heart so bad. And I was like, man, does the rest of the world see us this way? Yeah. And I realized that a lot of people do see us that way, you know. And I just wanted to make sure that if I could do anything with the platform that I'd been given, I would make sure that the people who saw Barret and the people who see me as John Bentley as an actor in whatever genre I do don't see black folks that way. You know, so that was my little history on that. I'm gonna stop talking. Y'all got questions?
Oh, you're fine.
Thank you for sharing, man. Yeah.
Actually, it's kind of on that note. Something I've been thinking about is, and we talked about how in the original Final Fantasy VII, you know, Barret is a central character, but he's kind of limited. You know what I mean? Just as the way he's written, everything stereotypical.
And you guys know we're fanboys, right? So most people didn't read the side scrolling. They didn't read it. They didn't really. They didn't take the time to go through. We probably did because we're like,
absolutely.
But I mean, you see Barret angry and he's shaking, or you see him knock the hell out of Wedge.
Wedge and some flying.
You know? So that's what you saw. Those were the visuals that you saw. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But
oh no, you're good. I mean, we're here to listen to you talk. But I think what's so interesting and like great about the new, like the remake with you in it, is I think the way it's, and it works out really well, the way they cut off the first installation and first installment, where it's all taking place in Midgar. Because if you think about it, chapter 1, if you will, of Final Fantasy VII is a story of civil oppression, right? That's the whole concept of it. And in that microcosm, you know, Barret is the leader of the organization trying to take him down. Cloud is the main character of the story, but for that first arc, Barret is the leader. He's the figurehead of that story against civil oppression. Now, when it comes to a meteor being summoned by, alien interplanetary deities, that's kind of Cloud's kind of thing. He's got the make and all that stuff. But the most relatable human story is that first chapter about civil oppression and the fact that a black character is the symbol, like the figurehead of that story arc. Is just something that I think that you really get to bring to life in Remake. And you guys were talking about how in the original, Barret does have character. I mean, everyone who really plays the game knows how sensitive Barret is. But you kind of, instead of the way they set it up, where it's like they kind of project this macho, stereotype, if you will, and then later on they're just like, but wait, here's something interesting. He has feelings. But like in Remake with you just wear that on your sleeve like the whole time. Like it's so much more apparent. Yeah. And I think that's a really great job you did with that. But just thinking about how you're talking about the story and the racial issues and everything like that, I think it's really interesting and really powerful that you got to do that, for like an entire culture.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the writers and the translators, though. I mean, Square Enix, every time I went into the booth, I'm like, man, they put it down. The storylines, the writing, the dialogue, the dialect, everything with all the characters from where it was derived. It's just, they threw down, man. The creators, oh my, the art, some of the stuff you could just look at as a still shot. The artists, I mean, this was a major project, and to be asked to be this little part and the cog in this huge, unbelievably world wheel it's just a blessing, and it's an honor, and it's just really cool. But yeah, thank you, man.
I'd say it's a little bigger than a little part. I think Barrett's a big old part, man.
We can't talk about great writing in Remake without the Barret song. There's a part where you're in the plates going to the number 5 reactor, and if you get on this one platform, it takes you to a little side, a hidden material, a hidden sub-material, but like the kind of like the indicator to let you know like you're getting warmer.
Going on an adventure.
Yes, find some treasure.
Yeah. That was funny. That there's a lot of stuff that we were in the booth, and my director, he was like, "Yo, man, you just get to ad lib, just do a bunch of stuff." And the writers, the translators are all there. John and Ben are like, "All right, just have at it," because they would hear me in the booth just do crazy stuff when we weren't doing the lines, and so they're like, all right, it's just your time, just do whatever. And so we got to ad lib and just have fun, and that was an honor. That was fun to be asked to do the victory. That's just a fanfare.
Speaking of that,
I was gonna say my one of my favorite parts of Final Fantasy VII Remake, having Barret in the party, was it was random too. It wasn't every single time, but every time I heard that victory fanfare from you, it brought me to giggles. Like it was probably my favorite part. I would grind hoping to hear that. Like that was I love that.
Yeah, man. That was because just to be able to do that, just for your character to do that is like me? It's just me.
Speak to you directly and hear from you, but just what you did for the gaming community, specifically with Final Fantasy. It's just, this is incredible. Absolutely incredible. When I this morning, when I thought about this today's podcast, I thought back to the Remake announcement. And if I could have told myself 5 or 6 years ago, however long it's been now, that I get to speak to you, man, I'd have been like, no. No,
insane.
But no, a little about myself. I am a retired professional wrestler. I used to beat people up in tights, and I love Final Fantasy, as you can see with all this stuff back here.
Yeah, I love your wall, though.
We got good old Barret right here. We got my action figure up here, but more importantly, we got Barret right in the middle. And we're just so excited that you're here, man.
I love that, man. I love you. That's awesome that you got an action figure of you when you did your thing, dude. That's just cool. That's really cool.
Vinny, what's up, man?
I'm still starstruck right now.
All good, Vinny. I'm just a normal dude. I stand up and pee just like you.
Oh, well, then Vinny's got a problem.
Yeah, I sit down when I pee.
Now he's even more starstruck. Barret can do anything.
Sorry, Vinny. I didn't know you wore Depends.
No, it's all right.
Well,
It's
I
all
guess
right.
it depends on the situation.
Oh, that's cool. I'm teasing, Vinny. It's all good, baby.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed your work before Final Fantasy VII Remake. I watched Heart of Dixie. I enjoyed you on that show. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan, so I recognized you from that as well. And I'm a firefighter, and I believe that you voice a firefighter on a animated series. So
yeah,
I thought that was
from there.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I love firefighting.
Before you keep going, man, thank you for your service for so many of us and being on the front line, brother, because I don't think y'all get enough credit and enough applause and enough just action to understand that we love you and we appreciate you, bro.
We don't do it for the applause. We like making people go home. That's right. That's it.
Right.
So,
but I just want you to know I recognize that and I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Reed, what's up, man?
Wait, Vinny didn't finish.
Oh, we didn't.
I
thought it was Vin. Oh, my bad.
I mean, I could be finished. Nah,
I could be done. I mean, like,
I didn't want to cut him off.
It got a little quiet, so I was like, all right, let's move on then.
Tell us of your fanhood, Vinny.
Well, Final Fantasy VII was the first Final Fantasy that actually resonated with me. It was a huge part of my life. It actually got me through some dark times, which I think Final Fantasy, no matter which one it is, I feel like it appeals to people depending on where they're at in their lives. I was going through a really rough breakup with somebody that I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with. And I just went into a fugue state and I played Final Fantasy VII and I just it got me through so much. I was able to immerse myself and get my mind off of so many things. And those characters became my family. Like Barret became my family. You know, Barret always made me laugh, and I just enjoyed having Barret in the party, Sid in the party. It was always, something like Sid reading in the voices that I would have in my head, the things that Sid would say. I always thought Sid was this 50-year-old grandpa, always this angry grandpa. And then, you find out he's 27 years old. It's he has an old soul. It was just funny. But Final Fantasy VII and all of its characters really got me through some hard parts of my life.
Man, I appreciate hearing that, bro. I mean, I'll share with you guys after everybody does their introduction, but we'll come back to that because that's huge.
Looking forward to it, man. Reed, what's up? Or did Sephiroth get to you already? I don't know.
No, he's been frozen in midair for a while now. It's kind of just waiting for the other shoe to fall. At this point, just the anticipation is really getting to me. I wore pigtails today for this. Come on, this is my second favorite blouse. Okay. Oh God. I'm Reed. I don't do anything of value to society. That's all. Certainly not a firefighter or anything like Vinny. But me and Danny have been friends. Our brothers were friends. We've been friends for a long time, and we've been basically equally nerdy for that throughout, and we've done a bunch of projects and stuff together. So to see this one, it's hey, remember when we did that game night league and we just played Xbox or played GameCube and I made a lot of really stupid jokes for 2 hours? Now imagine that getting John Eric Bentley on a show. It's
that's cool.
So much applause to Danny for all the work he does on that front also, first of all. So
Thank you.
Little golf clap.
Yeah, well,
for
thanks,
you.
guys.
It
Thank
is
you.
the
Order
Masters.
the golf clap, Danny.
Man,
it is
man, come on,
it's the
guys.
Masters.
I know
You
that's
guys
about
are-
John, man. Come on.
Golf clap.
Shout out for Reed. Shout out for Reed talking about bringing out the what game did you say? Did you guys started it on?
We saw Game Night
GameCube?
League. What? Playing Smash Bros on GameCube.
Reed,
Yeah.
We
you
had
got some old
like a
school
little
in it?
video show that we recorded. There's a YouTube up for that too, man. Oh my god,
There
it
is.
makes me cringe so much, but it's so funny at the
That's
same
awesome.
time.
Shout out
Gotta
to
start
cringy
somewhere,
YouTube
though.
videos from the past. Shout out.
Mhm.
Oh god, yeah.
It's great.
Start somewhere.
Great
the
TV.
interview.
Good.
We did that like a 20-minute interview, and it's just me and Danny going back and forth, just going nowhere. It was so painfully hilarious.
The idea was basically it's being done right now, by the way. Got mad respect for Austin Creed who does Up Down Down, but you know what, I'm calling him out right now. If you're gonna do our idea, man, let's go. You basically
Now hold on, Danny.
basically do
You started to go.
Time out, man. I spent 13 years in the ring. He's gonna kick your ass. So step back just a little bit.
not confrontation in person. Let's set
Internet beef?
yeah. So I can hide behind the screen. Come on, man.
right.
It's like Mike Tyson said, everybody's brave on the internet.
Yeah. I'm trying to.
Everybody's brave. They forgot
Anyone
what
can
it's like to
Photoshop
get punched in the mouth,
Anyone can Photoshop biceps on the internet.
right?
So Game Night League, in case of somebody shares it to Austin, and he's like, "What are you talking about?" Game Night League was basically think WWE, like wrestling storylines and like all this other stuff, like championship titles. Well, we had I painted a controller gold, and I called it the Golden Championship controller.
Cool.
So we would basically have storylines where we make promos going into each match, and we would hype the match up so much that
So much cheese.
yeah, and then we would it's very cheesy, but it's entertaining nonetheless. And then
Fine.
when the match was there, we would do it live, and then it was just really small. It get like maybe 100 views, but there was so much anxiety and so much it felt like a big event because we had hyped it up so much that when people would play, we'd be shaking like this is for the championship, you know what I mean? But so it kind of had that promos, do the match, do the announcing like JR and the King, or you know what I mean?
Good God Almighty!
Was Osby involved with that one too?
What's that?
Osby, were you around then?
Oh no, sir.
That would have been cool.
That would have been fun. Yeah.
We
You were
met
probably
during
in the ring during that time.
I can only verbally suplex. I don't want to wrestle with Osby.
Hey man, gravity hurts. or rather, what gravity does to your body. It's not fun.
Back
Give me
back
the
when
bottom
Remake
rope.
was announced, that's when I created I created a Facebook group called Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I just wanted to communicate with some people that shared the same passion as I did. So Osby was among the first to want to join,
Like the
and then
first
from
five to
there,
join.
yeah, from there we basically I don't even know we've never met in person, and we're like.
Oh, hey, man, you guys got to get out to a KoopaCon if you
Yes.
really
Would love
dig
to, man.
Final Fantasy. I've never experienced a convention like that. You guys got to get a hold of Alex Main and get to KoopaCon. I know on the 19th, I think the 19th, they're doing a special thing online, but you just go on their stuff. I mean, you guys would love it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's everything that you're talking about right now.
If we have time, I'll tell you about my E3 story because I have a big fan moment at E3. But
Cool.
John, I know you said you had a story you would like to tell us. So
Well, yeah, but did we get through? We got through three.
did we get?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
I
made enough jokes for the next 10 minutes.
I'm trying to do it, man. I'm trying to be a good host here, but I just
Oh,
want to hear you
good.
talk, John.
I know you want to keep it moving. Did you talk, D? Did you talk about you? Or was that when you did the title? of what we're
Did the
about?
intro. I don't want to talk about me. I want to talk about John Eric Bentley. You know.
We got time, man. I don't want,
So hyped.
So what I wanted to say is that I never realized how many people, like what you just shared, Vinny, about being able to get through a tough time and everything. I didn't realize that until I started doing conventions and until I started becoming more active on social media, how many people used Final Fantasy and the characters within it and the gameplay to get through tough times. And I didn't realize how much of an impact it would have on people. And so I have been able to, and I'm still constantly doing it, meeting people who say, hey man, thanks, I was going through this, or thanks, I was contemplating suicide, or thanks, I was doing this. And I'm going, what? So once again, I realized that the platform that I've been given is a blessing from God. And the reason that it's more near and dear to me is because I now have an arena where I can just uplift and edify, just speak life into people, just celebrate with them, let people know that I'm just as big a fan as you, not some celebrity or whatever. I have the opportunity to help people however that may be. Sometimes it's just a friendly gesture and a smile and a hug. And I've asked the Lord, hey, look, man, if you've put me in this position, help me to bless somebody else. Help me to whatever's on me, whatever joy is on me, whatever energy, whatever love is in me, help me to be able to give that to someone else so that it can help them to continue on, to soldier on, as I would say, to soldier up, as Barret would say. Because shame on me if I don't use that to help do whatever I can, especially in the world that we live in, not just in the States, but the world we live in. People falling away from not understanding the importance of love, people not understanding the importance of just a friendly gesture or a smile or just being courteous. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So shame on me if I've got that opportunity to do that, to uplift, to encourage, and I don't do it. And I would say that for anyone who's in a position. And I think if each one of us in life and whatever circles we're in, whatever environment we're in, neighborhood, whatever it meant, if each one of us took a minute to be able to do that, to encourage someone, to speak life into them, man, I think we'd be in a much better place, especially in our society with what we're dealing with in the United States, but I think in the world. So, thank you for sharing that, because I always, Vinny, you don't even understand, that charges me. People say, you did Barret and you get paid. And it's just, you know what? I get to see the result of people's smile. I get to see the result of people say, hey, my son has MS and you just cheered him up. I get to see the result of, I get to see it. I get to see the physical smiles, the love, come back. It's reciprocated. And I'm just like, this is really cool. This is what it's about. You know what I mean? So thanks for sharing that, man.
We assure you that there will be many a good deed done in your name in light of your statement there. And thank you for that, by the way. I love that gesture. I kind of think the same thing. And it's kind of easy for the world to kind of get you down, especially living in the times we do. So it's a beautiful message. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you got it.
Yep.
Just speaking from the Final Fantasy fandom alone, we are eternally grateful for what you do, sir. Not only bringing this character to life, but just that message you just shared there. For real. We can't thank you enough. It's greatly appreciated what you do.
What's actually really interesting, and you're talking about games getting people through tough times. It's it's something that as a kid it's like very subconscious, but as you grow older you start to see it much more visibly. But like when you play a game, especially as a kid, it's like a time sink. You come for the swords and the monsters and all that stuff, but subconsciously throughout the game you start picking up like these underlying themes and stuff, and they kind of impact you and you don't realize it. And then you play that same game as an adult or when you're older, and it's almost like those themes are actually what you realize, like, oh man, like that's like the whole game right there. I missed that entirely. I just was like in Final Fantasy 7, it's like about identity, like struggling with your identity. Like for Cloud, it's like living in the shadow of like his role model, like Zack, and for Barret, it's wanting to do its best for the entire planet, despite it being seen as wrong by everyone around him because he's causing harm for a greater good. It's just like, I think a lot of those themes people pick up on them without realizing it, and I think they do latch on to those kinds of stories and it does help them get through things because they relate to it.
That's true. That's why I love the writers, because there's a message within the game.
Yeah.
And a good game has those messages. I look at God of War. I look at different scenarios in Red Dead. It's not just a shoot 'em up slasher game. There's messages in them. Last of Us, just crazy stuff going on where you get to escape for whatever time that you want to escape. And if it's a good writer, if it's a writer who cares about people, because that's another thing that I think we're missing. People got to start caring about people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The whole mask thing cracked me up. It's like people are arguing about, I'm not wearing a mask. Why? They're my rights. I was like, it's not about you.
It's not
about you.
What's funny is when people say that about masks, they say, you can't make me wear a mask. It's like infringing on my rights. But then, someone without shoes walks into their store and it's like, whoa, no shoes, no shirt, no service. Like that's infringing on my rights.
Shirt, no service.
It's like, no, it's different.
Yeah, this is a privately owned business. This is a business.
Mm-hmm.
So they're asking that if you come in here, don't do these things if you want service, right? And it's not even that. It's for me, it's beyond just if you go into a store. It's because I've had dear friends get COVID. I've lost friends who got COVID. I've lost relatives who got COVID. It's not fake. I remember everybody was talking about it being fake. I had a friend go to New York to bury his sister who died unexpectedly, right? And no one knew what it was then. He went back home with his wife to bury his sister, and before he got off the plane, he knew something was wrong coming back. They didn't even go home, man. They left. They landed in LA and went straight. They checked into the hospital. And I think he was in for like 35, 39 days. And when he came out of it, he thought that he was only in for 3, and then his wife was in for over 160 days. So it's real and it's affecting people. And praise God, they were able to survive it, and they're alive, and she's at home now. She got home like last month or the month before. But it's real, man, and it's taking people out, and it's not just taking out the elderly. We've had so many of our friends' parents pass, and I mean, hell, in Minneapolis, man, they rented out a warehouse. I mean, picture Costco. They rented out a warehouse to keep the bodies. That's crazy. So when we start caring about people enough to say, hey, I'm going to wear this just in case if I am a character or carrier, I don't want anybody else to get sick, or I'm going to go and get tested to make sure that everything's cool wherever I go. When we start caring about each other, that's what changes things. Those are the little things. So it's like that ripple effect.
So, question: what would Barret say about wearing a mask?
I don't know if he'd say anything about the mask. I think he'd say what he says. You can't hear that planet crying out? I know you can.
I know you can.
So
you can really hear that.
Not to wax philosophically too much here, but it's something that I've kind of come on to, and I love it now. You're talking about the concept of just doing something just to be considerate of others, even if it does nothing. It doesn't impact you at all. Have you heard of the shopping cart theory?
No.
It's the litmus test that the true indicator of a good or bad person is what they do with their shopping cart after they leave the grocery store.
Oh, that's hilarious.
because if you just take your groceries out and you take the cart, it takes 10 seconds and you put it in the return bin.
Yeah, that's funny.
It costs
I
you 10
grab
seconds.
everyone that I see in the lot and put it back in the thing. If it's by my car, I'll grab it and put it in the little. Oh, that's hilarious.
It's the true test of good person.
Well, everybody's gonna be watching me in the damn parking lot now.
Oh, there's John.
How come you put 5 of them back? Cause man, it might scratch your car.
Yeah.
Seeing Barret angrily put shopping carts back.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of John and Barret on both sides or multiple sides of who he is. But that's a good litmus test. I like that.
It's a simple gesture, man. Just like the cart. It's a simple gesture. Just wear the mask,
What's the
like
worst
you
case
said, just
scenario?
Be good be good people, you know?
Yeah, we're just arguing over right now. In our country, we're arguing over secondary issues, man.
Yeah.
You know, people are picking and choosing sides of political sides, and it's breaking up families, it's breaking up relationships, and it's like, man, you were my friend before this election.
Just let's unite, be good, you know, like
Let's have some kind of communication.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like this, Vinny, if you're on the front line and you're on a hill and you're putting out a fire, and you know what, 20 yards to the left, you got another team, you communicate with that team, whether it be by walkie-talkie or if you got to yell, right? I mean, yelling probably won't help because of the sound of the fire and what you're wearing.
Yeah, we got the masks.
Right, you got to communicate. So the biggest thing is I want to be a bridge builder. I want to be a bridge in between communication because so many sides don't want to communicate. And I'm like, man, if we just sat down, I'd be able to hear your heart. If we just sat down, you'd be able to hear my heart. We don't have to always agree, but let's just at least have some kind of communication so we can quench the violence or quench the us against them theory.
Yes.
And I think that is a start. If communication builds any kind of relationship, regardless of the people are strangers or if they've known each other for years.
that's well said. Yeah.
Just Photoshop John as a bridge, and on one side of the bridge is us, and on the other side is them.
John is the bridge.
We got quick artists here. It's all good. Now let's stop doing the philosophical thing. We got questions and stuff.
Oh,
right?
we do got questions. We got some rapid fire.
Yeah, we got a lot of questions, John. I do want to not move away from the subject at all because I believe what you said is really relevant and it's something that everybody should hear. And I think that going into this conversation, I didn't know we would end up talking about that, but I think it does just build on your character, not only as not your character Barret, but as you, like John Eric Bentley is just a really great guy. You know what I mean?
Confirmed.
FFTV confirms John is a great guy.
I'm confirmed. Ding, ding, ding. No, seriously, man. I mean, it says a lot for us as men. It says a lot for us as people if we care about our character and integrity. It's just something that's missing. And especially in the Western culture, we have slipped up and forgotten about courtesy and generosity and sympathy and even more importantly empathy, and just character and integrity. It goes a long way, man. It goes a long way.
100%. All right, so we're going to go on to John. At first, when I created this was going to be a warm up, but I feel like we're all warmed up. So you should be ready to go on this next segment here. You know what I mean? This is going to be a warm up for the questions, but I think you're going to be ready. Okay. This is going to be a rapid fire segment here. I'm going to ask you questions, just whatever comes to mind. The first thing that comes to your mind, just go ahead and answer it. They're going to be silly questions. They're not like any.
Or is it as Barret?
So you got to be on your toes because some of these are about what would Barret do, or what is Barret's thing?
Cool. Fun.
Yeah. And then yeah, and then
Dave Chappelle, my brain's awake.
What in the hell is this magic? How do you know I just binged all of the Chappelle Show on Netflix last night?
I saw where he announced, and on the same day Netflix made my shit available, and I didn't get paid. Did you see that on Saturday Night Live?
I didn't get paid.
That was funny. I'm like, ooh. Yeah, Dave Chappelle's he's incredible. There's Jay Farrell, Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy. There's so many great guys out there who are just so talented, man. It's just, Dave Chappelle is hilarious. He's one of the dudes. Now he's on my list that I really want to meet. Along with Samuel Jackson, I got to meet Denzel. There's so many people that I want, but Dave Chappelle the dude is deep and he's funny and he's real and he's good. He's good.
That's awesome. Yeah.
The dude that's on crack. That's hilarious.
I can
Tyrone
do Tyrone Biggins, but I will not do it here because this is public.
You don't know about me, Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
That's just funny, man.
this is the best.
Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in.
This is, the John Bentley Chappelle Show hour.
Oh my god.
Actually,
I'm doing all the voices.
Yeah.
Oh no!
next idea for a show, comedian tier list featuring John Eric Bentley.
Yeah. S
Do all
tier.
the voices.
S tier.
That's funny.
I recently saw a meme on Facebook, and you know how Oregon announced that they decriminalized all drugs in Oregon, and I saw a meme.
That's not like totally true, right? But there's,
I know that there's
behind it is crazy.
Yeah,
but I hear you. Go ahead.
But the meme feeds into how everybody is perceiving that, and on the medical side, like I get the news from like other states and everything, because we kind of learn protocols from other states, and so when I first heard about it, I was just like, all the pieces aren't there. I'm sure there's a lot more to that story with Oregon decriminalizing all drugs, but I saw the Dave Chappelle meme where it was Tyrone Biggums, and everybody was just like, Oregon decriminalized all drugs, and then he's like, peanut butter and crack sandwich. And I thought that was hilarious.
Because it's Dave Chappelle, man.
Yeah.
Some of the best, right? Some of the best comedians are the ones who actually read the news, and they're actually aware of the things that are happening.
The most reliable sources of news in America these days are like late show hosts, which is incredibly depressing.
Even though it's opinionated.
Yeah,
it's
I mean, there's
funny.
always bias.
Yeah, it's still funny, and it's, they try to be as accurate as they can be, because I kid you not, we are now in a society where people are doubting everything. It's like, is it real news or is it fake news? Who started that shit?
Right. What's actually sad is we're talking about late show hosts being more reliable sources of news, because and yet, yes, there's bias, but what's sad is that that's still an improvement, because major media for the most part is beyond that. It's propaganda.
Yeah, it's about money, man.
Yeah, it's better to be biased than be propaganda, I guess. So
I mean, what made it cool to say, hey, I got 900 million followers, and now you get paid for that, as opposed to, hey, I'm a hardworking entertainer, and this is my product, and you don't get paid for it.
I guess since bathwater became a currency.
I guess crazy, right? Yeah, that's it. We've become so lazy. Game bitches. We have become so
blouses.
We're gonna start like quoting. I misquoted it, but we're gonna start quoting all the things. I remember when Eddie Murphy Delirious came out in Raw, and every time I'd be having a conversation with my friend, someone would just drop a line from it. Like, that's Dave Chappelle now. Dave Chappelle, and in some cases Key and Peele. Funny.
Yes, great show too.
But I'm sorry. We're going to do. We're going to do questions.
Hey, look, I love it, man. I love it. I love it. I have notes.
We keep going down rabbit holes.
Nah, it's great.
I'll
man.
be Alice. You be the Cheshire Cat.
I think we're worried about being like with the hype and everything. This would be like a stiff conversation where it's like, "Hello, Mr. Bentley, could you please?" So it's like the fact this is like rolled so
organic,
fluidly.
This is good.
Yeah, I love it.
Man. We can't be like, "Hi, I'm John Bentley, and I do the voice of Barret Wallace."
Well, how the heck are you, John?
Great. How are you, fellas?
Terrific.
I'm just drinking my decaf coffee. I paid with my credit card.
Right. We can't do that. Oh, did you have DoorDash, or did you actually go out with your mask?
Let's go to an advertisement.
For $9.95, you too can have DoorDash.
Right. We can't.
But so I'm loving it. You know what I mean? Like, I have the notes right here, but I'm glad we're not even like it's loosely going off these notes.
All good, man.
I'm loving it.
Outline.
Yeah, it's more of a guideline. I love it, man.
Nick Danny's because he's loving it.
Did we get that point yet? Oh, we did. Okay, cool.
This conversation is going great. I'm loving every bit of this. All right, John.
Cool, man. Cool. You got a lot of editing gardening to do.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Or none.
Let's do your questions. Let's get the questions.
All right, here we go.
Got
Ready?
me all pumped up and excited.
Here comes.
I'm like, I'm ready.
All right.
It's that anticipation.
We're gonna go down the row here.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask 5, and then it's going to go to Osby. He's going to ask 5, and then Reed, and then Vinny.
Okay,
All right,
cool.
so they're going to be quick. Here we go. Ready?
Cool.
Are you ready, John?
I'm ready.
Are you ready, man? Here we go.
You said John, so I'm sure assuming John has to answer the first one. But I'm
Are you ready, Barrett? Is John and Barrett ready?
Yeah, I know. It's like, hold on for a minute, man. Let me get my breath. You're like a schizophrenic interview.
He's got to take his crazy
man, I'm
pills.
All the
bipolar right
voices in
now.
the head. Yeah.
I know. It's like in between each person, we go. Okay, go.
Chappelle's going to come out of nowhere. We don't know what's going to happen.
I'm tired of all these mother.
That was actually a really good impression of Sam Jackson there.
Jackson, we do The Rock, we do Terrence Howard, we get
Oh my God.
all of them, bro.
Yo, I didn't know you were good at impressions, man.
Oh, I have to be.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, here we go, Barrett, John. Here it comes.
Jarrett
Jarrett.
or Baron.
Wrong.
They're all
All right.
There you go. It's fly.
What is Barrett's favorite color?
blue.
What is Barrett's favorite food?
Pizza.
I was hoping you'd say that. All right. Yo, Barrett is in the club. What song makes Barrett dance?
What's this? Dun, dun, 50.
in the club.
In the club.
Yeah. He's in the club listening to you in the club.
When Barrett is not wearing a gun arm, what other attachments does Barrett have for daily routines?
That's a good question. My other attachments. I would say, which many of you don't see, my assorted bullets, my chains of bullets, so that I can load my gun.
All right. All rise. And all rise for the Honorable Judge Joe
Barret.
No.
Unless you're talking about Hannah Montana, that's a whole different thing.
Hey, now you're an all-star.
Oh no.
All right, I was
Game
All right.
on, get paid.
I was specifically went back to watch that episode of Hannah Montana just because you were going to be on the show, and I was like, I gotta watch it. And
Joe.
when it was Judge Joe Barrett as the teen court, I was like, gotta throw it in there.
Oh, that's funny. Is that all your questions?
Oh no, we got plenty. That's just
Those are the rapid fires.
Let's keep going. All right.
Rapid fires. Here comes
All right,
Osby.
Barrett, here we go.
Okay.
Does the sailor suit actually fit?
Like a glove.
There we go. Okay,
It
Barrett.
fitted, Big O. It fitted. You can't tell? Look at some of the graphic art.
It's a little pixelated. All right, Barrett.
Some of the graphic art. Now, some of the other graphic art.
Hold on now. Barrett, what's your favorite material?
Materia?
Material.
The blue one.
The blue one. There we go.
Oh, good.
All right, Barrett. I hear that Tifa makes a strong drink. What do you order?
It depends. It depends if we're going to take out some reactors, or it depends if we're going to take out some goons, some thugs, or it depends if we're going out to fight some Shinra stuff. So, I would say anything with vodka in it.
Okay.
I would say anything with a twist of lime, because I love lime. And I would say anything that would let me get a buzz on, but still be able to fight and shoot straight.
All right. Well, so with that buzz and fighting and shooting straight, I heard it through the grapevine that Barrett just might be a fan of the Macarena. So we would just love to hear buzzed Barrett say, "Hey, Macarena."
Humma numma 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 Margarita. Humma numma 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 numma. Hey, Margarita. All right.
I don't know if you realize this, but you've just like closed a story arc between us, and this is possibly the best day ever for all four of us.
Because I don't think he would know the words. You know, he would humma numma numma. I hear this one on my jukebox in the bar all the time.
This one wiggles.
It doesn't matter if it's canon or not. That's the best thing I've heard ever.
That was
Especially if he's drunk. Come here, Wedge. I need something to hit.
that was better than I was anticipating.
Oh my god!
leading up to this show, the past 3 episodes that we've done, it's been a running joke that Barret would do the mockery.
Can you imagine when he does this part?
We were talking about like victory dances or something. I can't remember how it came up.
Slaps his arm.
Hey, moderator. I need to take out your boyfriend over there.
My bad.
Oh man,
Get my groove on.
Reed, you're up, man.
All right.
All right. So, John, these are more personal. So, I've been listening to, just little tidbits you've mentioned throughout our discussion here. So, I want to touch on the things that I think I relate to a lot. So, first of all, you mentioned you like mythology. What's your favorite Greek god?
Oh man, that's tough, bro. Because there's so many. Okay, so I dig Zeus, but I got Poseidon. I can't remember if Poseidon is Greek or Roman.
He's Greek.
Poseidon's Greek.
Yeah,
I dig Poseidon. Although I can't stand what they're doing with the whole Aquaman stuff right now in relations to Poseidon and, believe it or not, Neptune, but or Namor. So I dig those two for what they stand for, but then you got to think about like the ladies, like Hera and
Aphrodite.
Athena. So Aphrodite, I don't think Aphrodite was as fine as everybody makes her out to be, especially when you see some of the statues. I think she was alluring and captivating, and that made her prettier than fine. You know what I mean? Especially when you see like how they depict her moving, and so I'm like pumped about stuff like that. But yeah, so I like Zeus, but Zeus he can be a son of a gun, but that's why
kind of somewhat adulterous, if you will.
Yeah, but I think they all were. But Poseidon's no joke. Hades is no joke, but I don't dig what he stands for. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we
he's
can
a
go.
spiteful little brother. No,
you must love God of War.
Oh, you don't understand. I just wish that, because I asked my sons, they're like, "Yeah, Dad, we need to get the PS5." I'm like, no, we don't, unless you guys are gonna give me some damn money towards it. But I just wish that they made something backwards compatible compared to the old PS3 that I had, that allowed you to play all of the Gods of War. Because God of War and Uncharted, those are two of the most brilliant series that is for me that has ever been created. So
see Tom Holland in they released what he looks like in Uncharted, the movie.
Oh, bro, I'm not even supposed to mention all this stuff, but I got a very, 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 very dear friend who maybe I can
check notes.
No, I'm trying to pull up a picture.
Okay.
I'm a very, 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 very dear friend.
Anticipation mounts.
It is
That is on that set.
Ooh.
And I don't know if I can do this, but can you guys see this? Oh, no, you can't see that. Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
See that?
Oh, they swapped that.
Can you,
if you start talking,
hold it up to the
Can you
camera
see it now?
if
How
you don't
about
mind?
now? Can you see it now? Can you see that now? Can you see that?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, you ready?
Oh,
Ready?
Oh my goodness.
Is it going?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
He got me that. So I'm
Oh, nice.
I'm supposed to go over there today after our interview here, our time here, and I'm supposed to go over there and pick it up. So I'm all excited. But yeah, I'm a huge fan.
For those of you that are listening, we just got to see an awesome glimpse of a very nice hoodie.
Yes.
Right? Heard it here
Very
first.
nice. Did you see the sleeve though? So you can't talk about it, but that's what I'm talking about.
that's awesome.
I got you.
Man, I can't talk about it, but
I
that's
can't
what I'm
talk
talking
about it, but that's what I'm talking about. So you know,
I'm not saying
I'm a
it,
huge
but if I was
fan
saying
of
it,
Uncharted.
Yeah.
not
Right.
man.
Huge
No,
fan
we
of
get it.
Uncharted. Huge fan of God of War. This last installation that they did was just brilliant.
Oh my god.
Brilliant.
Loved it.
You know,
As a
so,
father,
yeah.
like now that I'm a father, like that it hits differently.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's just yeah.
It hits differently. Like, yep.
So we'll start our next rabbit hole.
I'm sorry, we're supposed to be going fast.
Oh no,
yeah, we're good.
Nah, I like us going off on the tangents.
Me too.
I'm a bit of a rambling man myself, so it's like you kind of just let it go.
Bit of a
and then
rambling man.
And then before it gets a little too
Right.
far, you're just like, let's
Read the
throw that
Rambler.
on the last. Oh my sweet Jesus!
Rambling.
All right.
If anyone
Come on,
ever
Reed, bring the other one.
if anyone refers to me as anything but Reed the Rambler from now on, I won't speak to you ever again.
I know.
So,
Right?
John,
That can go either way.
so John, coming from a varsity quarterback, and also in the room is one of my favorite wide receivers I ever played with, in Danny. What position
What?
did you play? What? Oh yeah, we played football together for
I did not know that. I was a
15
receiver.
15 years. We have a local park, and we'd have a group of like 30 guys, and we'd have no pads, full contact. I had my shoulder separated. I broke a bunch. Me and Danny, I think I was covering
Knockheads,
him. Yeah, we were playing a ball in the end zone, and we ran into each other, and just both of us got knocked unconscious.
Oh wow.
It was the first game that my then girlfriend, now my wife, but it was the first game she ever watched me play. Like, I was trying to show off,
hon.
and then
Never again.
I end up on the ground for like 5 minutes.
Oh my God.
that shit out.
Where are you guys? Wait a minute. Where are you guys?
We're in Southern Maryland, so
Oh yeah. Okay.
Except for
but
Osby.
yeah.
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Oh, Osby's in St. Louis. Cool.
Yeah,
Cool. You're closer to where I grew. Okay. No, I was a receiver. I ran a 4.58 ish.
Nice.
6'3", 6'4" when I played. Had a 42-inch vertical. My story as a football player, I played when I was a kid. I played every sport. I think I've played every sport except for highlight and cricket. I think I've done every other sport.
I played cricket one time because I was at a barbecue and someone had there's like, oh yeah, stick the wickets. I'm just like,
Yeah, it looks like
guys,
fun.
what's your language? There are kids here. When
They're like, no.
sticking my wicket, like, oh dear God, like my word. But yeah, and you know how like they kind of like bounce the ball to you to like serve you.
Right.
So my first experience ever with cricket, I was like, yeah, I'll try it. So they gave me like the paddle or the whatever they call it, and the guy bounces the ball at me, goes right straight to the right of the target, goes right into the old boys.
Oh,
No.
That was my
so
first
he was
experience
trying
with
too hard. He wasn't even like giving you a big meatball. He was, I guess I gotta put that out there. You got hit in the meatball.
Or I was about to say some words. Oh no, I'm
That's
triggered.
crazy. That's crazy.
No.
No, man. So yeah, so I was a football player.
Hell yeah. No, that's awesome. I'm a huge football fanatic, and I can't play anymore because I got bum knees. So it's I just live vicariously through all my football friends now.
Yeah, I'm bone to bone on my left, and the thing is, all of my friends who continued on to another level after college, they are dealing with early signs of CTE. Is it CTE?
CTE. Yeah.
And it's hard to see, it's hard to watch, but I got a feeling in a roundabout way that I was spared from that because when I played at the University of Minnesota, I didn't dig my coaching staff, and they didn't dig half of we had like the best recruiting class of its time. And I think one of us played out of that. And it was weird. It was just they didn't know what they had. They didn't know what to do. So I hated football after I graduated. And I couldn't even, it's weird. The weirdest, I couldn't even watch it. Collegiately, I couldn't watch it for about 3 or 4 years after I graduated. NFL, I kind of didn't care about it for about 2 years. And then I started seeing friends that were playing. I'm like, oh, I got to at least follow my friends, But it was a great learning experience, great growing experience. But I'm glad I didn't come out of it with any brain injury that I know of. And then, body wise, I from a lot of my peeps. I've been spared, but even though I got a weird leg, but I still play basketball. I'm still very athletic, working out, whatever I can do.
So just kind of adding on to that question before we move on to the next one. Who is your favorite professional team and why is it the Carolina Panthers?
It is not the Carolina. And,
shucks. I almost had him.
I don't really have one, and this is going to sound weird, but I like individual players because I think the owners of the team and the organizations, they don't give a damn. I mean, they do, they care, but it's not really about the team anymore. I mean, I grew up during a time when it was the Steelers and the Cowboys and Landry, and they cared about the team. And I'm not saying that the NFL player, the teams don't care about one another, but it's such an individual thing now. The loyalty between the owners is just different. This whole concept of elitism because you own a team. And you don't really own a team, you seem to, many of them, not all of them, many of them seem to say, well, I have stock in a bunch of boys that can play the game. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, well, all this trading and all this, get rid of them and all this firing and fast or this cancel culture, even within the structure of a team, teams aren't what they used to be. So it's hard for me to have a team because you never know.
Right.
Here's a perfect example. I go to buy a jersey from one of my favorite players from one of my favorite teams. And next year, they're gone. And it's usually because of the manager or the owners or the organization's choice. Not so much the player, unless they get in trouble,
Right.
Like Antonio Brown, it's like, what jersey do I buy? You know what I'm saying? And do I dare buy? Do I dare buy that one?
Right.
Because, you never know what's going to happen. But so for me, it's just different, man. Where's the loyalty and the team? Like with Franco Harris and Lynn Swan, or with Roger Staubach and Drew, Billy White Shoes. All those. What happened to the concept of team?
Yeah,
that's what I grew up on. So team overcomes a whole bunch of stuff. But if you don't have a team because everybody's flying in and out. That says something about your organization.
Yeah. Turnover.
You ever watch Ballers? The HBO show Ballers. Did you ever watch that with The Rock?
Oh, I did. I did all the voice stuff for it.
Wait, you were in that show. Oh my God, that's right.
I wasn't in it, but we do Loop Group for it. So our Loop Group loops the show.
Okay.
So I've watched pretty much every episode. But
that's awesome.
The business behind sports is weird. It's the politics behind sports is even worse. I'm sitting here now. I've got my youngest plays basketball, and he's the class of 2021. He's graduating this year. Well, out in California, we can't play. He can't play anywhere. So his season would have started already, his preseason, and then his season now has been pushed back to March. Well. We don't know if we're going to have a season because of the pandemic, and we don't know if Biden, when he gets in, it sounds like, he's going to shut things down for like 3 months. So where does he get the scholarship? Or, right now he's been offered by some Division III schools. So we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? So everything's up in the air. And granted, I get it, it's COVID. But the NCAA decided, hey, we're going to let the seniors who are in school have another year. And college. Yeah. Well, what about the high school kids that are coming out who are trying to get recruited to play? Well, they'll just have to fend on their own, or they'll have to go to prep school, or they'll have to. So they burn a year in college, or they burn. It's like it's crazy right now.
I gotcha.
Stressful. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go down that damn rabbit hole again.
I love these. These are good takes.
Real answers and real questions.
Agree.
Yeah, these are good takes, and I think that like people. I'm sure you do interviews all the time, and it's like ask like the same questions and same like shallow level like basically, but it's like just by going down these rabbit holes, like people are actually going to see like a genuine side of you and like deeper ideologies that you have. So I think it's like super valuable. So happy to have it.
Yeah, man, it's loyalty.
Right.
Having the loyalty.
Bring on the rabbit
You'd be
hole.
surprised how many interviews I do. I'm very selective.
Well, we appreciate
Well,
you.
amen.
And really,
Yeah, exactly. We're happy
So
to
what
have
you're
you.
saying is they can follow us right here at Final Fantasy.
That's right. That's right. Good.
So we were talking a little bit, doing some voices, and it's one of my favorite shows and comedians of all time. So what is your all-time favorite Chappelle Show sketch?
Oh man, anything with Charlie Murphy. Every one of those. I still so okay, you just got finished watching it. A lot of people don't remember the episode when he what it was like to be a slave.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
Have you seen the outtakes?
What's oh god, is that
there's
the one
where he's hanging on the rope and the guy is whipping him and pretending like he's whipping him or whatever?
Yeah.
And so the outtakes, Dave Chappelle acts like the guy accidentally hit him.
Yeah, he's like, oh man, well, I'll tell you.
That's
he's like bucking at him.
That's the funniest thing in the world to me. That's hilarious to me. But because I mean, what if a slave got down off the trees? You know what, man? I'm tired of it. Hey, Billy, all of us, we need to revolt right now. It's him and him against all of us. They got 3 shots. They can only get, I mean, just think about it. But no, anything with Dave Chappelle. Anything. Right. When he did the Rick James thing, one of the funniest things in the world.
There's a sketch. It's another one of those slavery sketches where it's if he can like go back in time. I think it's Charlie Murphy and oh my god, what's the guy who plays Ashy Larry. who's the Ashy Larry?
I don't know.
He was on Rogan. Funny. Yeah, he's funny. He's a little out there, but he is a funny dude. But it's like they go back in time. And Charlie Murphy's like, I can't remember. He's like talking mess to like some of the slaves or some people like that. And the guy who's with him is like easy now, Charlie. One of these men might be a grandpappy. And Charlie Murphy looks and makes direct eye contact with Charlie Murphy, just in like a really bad wig, like to look older. Yeah. It's like mean mug each other. Yeah, it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
But Charlie Murphy was hilarious, dude. Yeah, people don't understand how funny he was.
I broke his legs. They were like linguini.
That was hilarious. I'm on your couch. I'm on your couch.
Never should have gave y'all money.
Yeah, that's all of that. Dave Chappelle's a funny dude, man. Inside the mind of Dave Chappelle would be a beautiful ride.
What's so funny, and I think a lot of people don't realize this is, he kind of like opened the door to controversy like right away. Like literally the first. Like, talk about like confidence to just like announce your arrival. The first sketch ever in the Chappelle Show, season 1, episode 1, was the Clayton Bigsby Black White Supremacist.
Oh, the Black White Supremacist. Yeah.
It's like that takes some huevos to open a new show with that sketch, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna watch this dude.
Oh yeah, when he was where is he? Where is he?
The one guy's head literally explodes.
Yeah, that's deep, but that's another thing that I had to deal with in the Midwest and where I was and when I played ball and the recruiting that was happening. And I remember going on visits when I was being recruited to play ball, and there was paraphernalia and pamphlets out from white supremacists who were recruiting at the time, and this was in northern Illinois, and I was just like, wow, this thing is bigger than I thought it was going to be, and more blatant. And now, for some reason in our culture, because of our leaders, people feel like they've been given a green light to just say whatever they want to say or do whatever they want to do. And without any circumstance or consequences behind it. So it's just, it's different. But moving on, what's your next question?
I agree.
So, on that, I'm going to mention one thing, we'll move on. But speaking of some things never die, we live in one of like the few like really deeply red counties in Maryland, and there's a Confederate memorial. It was a POW camp. It's a Point Lookout, and even now in 2020, they actually have Klan rallies there, and I've seen Klan rallies advertised in the paper, like the local paper, just without any care in the world. This was like several years ago, but it's just funny how that still exists and how sometimes it comes back out. It never really dies.
It's people, man.
It's like the water, it never really goes away. It just
You know, so people are gonna be people. I mean, you got different groups, you got different beliefs. That is who America is, and there's nothing wrong with that. All I'm saying is, hey, let's try to figure out a way to sit down and talk and figure out our differences and try to agreeably disagree or try to eliminate violence around it. You're always going to have hatred. You're always going to have bias. You're always going to have that. That's probably not going to stop until Jesus comes back, you know. But I just, you know, people are going to do what they want to do. And hopefully if they do the wrong thing, they'll hold, you know, they'll deal with the consequences for it. But, you know, we're always going to have differences. That is what makes up people. So we just got to figure out a way how to eliminate the bulk of it so that we can figure out where love comes in and overrides it. Love overcomes a multitude of sins.
There we go. So the smoothest transition possible. Here you go, guys. Take notes. Speaking of love, we're going to go back to your childhood for a little bit. Favorite childhood snack or food and favorite childhood video game. So like Nintendo or Sega.
Atari video game, playing Space Invaders, turning it over because you could turn over the score back then. And while I was playing, I lived upstairs from a place called Leon's Barbecue. I couldn't afford to get the chicken wing dinner, so I would get the fries with barbecue sauce on the side while I was playing. And a jolly good drink. I think it was raspberry or cherry or strawberry drink or grape.
All right.
There we go. So actually, and I'm gonna piggyback on that because we mentioned this earlier. You said Final Fantasy VII got you into RPGs. What's another outside of like the main line of games like
Wild Arms? I got into Wild Arms big time.
Nice.
After Final Fantasy VII. I can't remember. It wasn't Fable. What was the other one? I looked at, and people laugh at me for saying this, but it was for the PS1. I looked at, what is the game now? I can't remember. It has the elf, the wizard, the warrior, and you used to be able to play it on a ball track. And it was an overhead view, and you would go through the maze. Oh, why can't I remember it? It escapes me. Me and my buddy played it and finished it twice. And my sons grew up playing. I can't remember the name of it. By the end of the conversation, I'll tell you. But I looked at that as an RPG as well. It wasn't a typical true RPG, but, side-scrolling and everything like that. But
I got you. Well, I have gone way beyond my time limit, so thank you guys for your patience and for answering my questions in such glorious.
Yeah, Reed, you got 10 questions, bro. We only got 5. Man, come on.
You guys are all like just imagining which one of you is behind me about to drop the sword through my back.
Yeah,
I was looking at you like, man, I'm gonna burn your house.
I don't know what happened to Reed. He lost connection. We're moving on to.
Right. And Osby's looking like, boy, if I had a top rope right now.
I was
Hey, what a great word, turnbuckle. Like I don't know why.
All right, Reed, that we're gonna move on. We're moving on to Vinny. Vinny, you got 5 questions. Let's make them quick.
All right. So, what's Barrett's favorite summon?
What's the one? Oh shoot! What's the one when the I don't even know.
Leviathan.
Leviathan?
The Leviathan comes
There
out.
you go.
Dude, that's the bomb. Everybody's like, Phoenix. I'm like, nah. The Leviathan. When the Leviathan comes, that's like, ooh, like when you're playing, you go, ooh, oh. Yeah, Leviathan, dude.
All right.
What show does Barrett binge watch in Seventh Heaven Hideout?
How to beat up the Turks. That's a good question. I don't know. The Palace must put on some kind of shows. It's got to be funny. The Chocobo Show.
The Chocobo
Every
Show.
day somebody races a Chocobo.
I'm so glad he didn't say Showgirls.
No.
So there's a dance battle between Barrett and Sephiroth. Who wins?
For real?
For real.
Okay, so you got to understand, Seph's got that little wing.
Yep.
he can do stuff that Barret just can't do.
Like fly in a circle.
Yeah, I mean, well, he can fly in his, he's got that wing, so he can elevate. So it's a whole different thing. So picture Barret trying to break dance, and picture Seth trying to break dance. Who's gonna sustain the moves longer? With that little wing, that little wing. So Seth's got to win it. As much as I love Barret, and he's younger. Seth's got to win.
I mean, you think about it though. Barret stands on the gun and just spins.
Lets the gun rotate.
You know, Seth, man, Seth is, dude. That's an elaborate character with a whole lot of determination. For what? Sometimes we don't know. But hey, see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Seth is a beast, and plus that waxy hair, he could probably spin off. It's definitely or those doggone shoulder pads, right?
Pantene, man. We got that
Pantene. Yeah, you can slide across the plate.
Right.
You remember how they used to do the head slides? Seth could do that and push himself with a little wing. You know, depending on what style of dancing. You know, but I just think that Cloud is so stiff, bro. And if he's wearing his sword, he can't move. That Buster sword is huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's true.
So I think Seth.
Valid points.
I know I gotta like back it up. This is why.
Yo, I love it.
No, there's context. It's great. I enjoyed that.
So let me tell you something. All right.
I know, D. Sorry, we changed rapid fire to let me explain to you.
No, I love it.
Boots in the mud.
Great.
So super speed or power of flight?
This is one of them questions. Like when I get the question, I have to think about it real hard. I'm like, I can't just give you an answer. Because I feel like I'm going to be granted the power tomorrow or something.
Right. Like he's like, get off the phone.
You pick super speed, but there's a guy who's like, well, I was going to give him super flight, but I guess he doesn't want it anymore, and he get nothing.
Well, so I've been watching The Boys. I just started binge watching The Boys. And I'm looking at Atram, and it's like, okay, this power speed, you can do a lot. You can, like Flash, go back and change different things in the world if you reverse, and all these different fantasy things. But the power of flight will be something else, because you can get to where you need to get to, however you need to get to it, whenever you need to get to it.
No more LA traffic.
Man, no more LA traffic.
As you've seen, A-Train ran into pedestrians, so
ran through a pedestrian.
Yeah, ran through.
You know,
He jumped right out in front of me.
The power of flight would be something else. I mean, think about if there was catastrophe going on, you could just pick somebody up and take them away. Like you said, the super speed, you got to get through stuff. You're still grounded.
True.
So I just think the power of flight for me.
All right. And so here's the most important one, though. When Barret goes to Chipotle, does he pay extra for guac?
Hell no! I'll reach across the counter and say, give me some more guac.
All right.
I want to know where that question came from.
We gotta animate that. We have the soundbite.
I want to know where that
Barret
came
goes
from.
to Chipotle.
Barret goes to Chipotle?
I eat Chipotle a lot. I eat a lot of fast food.
What's your favorite over there?
At Chipotle?
Yeah.
I usually get double white rice, double chicken, double cheese with sour cream and guacamole with mild.
Dang, dude, you got like metabolism.
You got like metabolism or something?
Like, dang, did you go to fires every day? Double white rice?
Mm-hmm.
Man,
I work.
Scoop they give you, they pour it on too much.
No, it's not enough for me. See, like, so I work 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. 7 days straight.
Oh.
And then after I get off at 5 p.m., I go to the gym for about 3 hours.
Yeah, you're burning.
So yeah, I'm just always eating.
Yeah, you got in the chicken. I get it because of the protein. The right, I get it now. Okay, yeah, that answers my question. I was like, why is Barret in Chipotle? Okay, I don't
like
rice.
metabolism or something.
Why wouldn't Barret be in Chipotle?
Right. It's like I don't know if yeah, it's like that brings up the question of what does Barret eat? I know he's healthy because he's cut as hell.
Yeah.
He's just cut up, but you know.
But yeah. What if you
all
had
that
Barret in 2020 America and the evil corporations are like Starbucks and Chipotle and stuff?
I don't think he would.
Can't you hear the planet crying out,
He
babe?
would think Starbucks was too frou-frou. Barret would think so. He's like, what is this little cup? Who is this on this cup?
Why did they
Who do they
misspell my
represent?
name?
Is this President Shinra's daughter? You know, he like. I don't think he would like.
All right, so
You'd be doing keto.
we're gonna move on to this fun game here, John. I want to know from Barret Wallace himself what his favorite weapon is from the original Final Fantasy, and what we're gonna do here from the original Final Fantasy VII. Now, I've created this bracket tier. We're gonna go real fast through it. Can you see it?
Uh-huh.
Okay, great. All right, so we're gonna go through it fast. So you just pick which one you like the best: the assault gun or the solid bazooka.
Assault gun.
Assault gun. There it is. We move that over there. All right, the missing score or the W machine gun.
Missing score.
The missing score. All right, and then we go over to Max Ray or enemy launcher.
Enemy launcher.
The enemy launcher. Whoops, what? Watch out now. All right, there we go. The Gatling gun or the heavy Vulcan.
Gatling gun.
All right.
More shots, baby. More shots.
All right, now we have micro laser versus the AM cannon.
Ooh. Micro laser.
Micro laser.
I can cut through stuff.
Chainsaw or the rocket punch.
Rocket punch.
Rocket punch. Very
Sock 'em
good.
off.
I never understood the chainsaw. I can cut through something and keep rolling. If I have to fight somebody up close, specific people, specific enemies, I'm gonna get wiped out.
I love it. Drill arm or the atomic scissors.
Atomic scissors, because they go a little further.
The pile banger or the cannonball.
Ooh, I forgot about this one. Cannonball.
The cannonball. All right, there we go. Now
That
we
was a
have.
tough one though. That's a tough one.
Look at that. Look at that second round there. This is going to be a good one. All right.
The final.
Here we go. Yeah.
Final
Assault gun or the
bracketry.
missing score.
Assault gun.
Assault gun beats out Barrett's final weapon. The enemy launcher or the Gatling gun.
Gatling gun. Sometimes that damn launcher goes places I don't want it to go. I mean, fighting a scorpion, it went into the wall more than anything. The aim isn't 100% accurate.
Don't attack when the tail's up, bro.
Rocket punch.
Rocket punch. Rocket punch over micro laser. Atomic scissors or the cannonball.
Let's go back. Atomic, the laser,
Okay.
because I got to cut through stuff.
Yeah. I gotta cut through stuff.
Gotta cut through
And
stuff.
then the
Simply must.
cannonball
cannonball.
and the rocket launcher are a lot alike.
All right, here we go. The final four. Here it is. We got the assault gun versus the Gatling gun.
Gatling.
The Gatling. There you go. That goes into the championship round. Cannonball versus micro laser.
Micro laser.
Micro laser. Gotta cut
Gotta
through
cut
stuff.
through stuff.
You gotta cut through stuff. Here it is.
Gotta cut
The
through stuff.
championship round. This is Barrett's starting weapon versus gotta cut through stuff. Micro laser.
Micro laser.
The micro laser. You heard it from Barret himself that the Barrett's favorite weapon is
Ice and ash.
indeed the micro laser. Here we go.
Just
We're gonna
gotta
type
cut
that
through
in.
stuff.
I just imagine one time.
Oh, hello. There it
I
is.
imagine
Micro
one
laser.
time
about it.
Barret was eating a steak and he was like, "What do I do with this?" And he's like, he couldn't eat it, so like, yeah. He's like, "All right, well now I got this micro laser.
No, think
Gotta
about
cut through my
micro
steak."
laser. You guys, we were just talking about The Boys, right? You remember when
no.
my man picked up that little baby and they had the laser eyes?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's that's some serious stuff, bro. Even
Boys-
when,
yeah,
what's
man.
the guy's name? The head guy, the blonde guy, the crazy one.
Homelander.
Your Homelander.
Homelander. When
Yes.
Homelander uses his lasers when he goes into that terrorist place. Come on, man.
I love Homelander. He invokes the Joker on that show. Like he's just, you never know what he's gonna do. You know.
You never know what he's thinking behind the smile.
Yeah. So crazy.
It's
I
a
love
fun
that show.
It's a fun show. But yeah, like, so for me, you know, Barret, you can't go wrong with that Gatling gun. I mean, it's his weapon of choice. It's multiple ammunition, and he charges, and it's like, I'm going, okay, where are the bullets? You know, when I first played it. But you get multiple shots, and it doesn't run out. And in any video game, especially like a Contra, you want something like that. And it's powerful. But then you get a laser, and that laser doesn't just, it's not it's a stream.
Yeah.
So if you direct that stream anywhere you want it to go, it takes out directly what the bullets can do damage with. So that's why I think the laser is one of the most important.
And you just gotta cut through stuff.
And it makes that cool little laser sound too. I mean, don't miss that.
I respect that.
You cut through walls, you cut through metal. The laser is a powerful weapon. And that probably goes back to me as a kid with Star Wars going,
Yes.
oh my gosh, look at what that lightsaber can do.
Is that young John? Is that young John there? That impression? Oh my god!
They never gave it the just due until we started seeing Clone Wars, until we started seeing the video games. You know, them sticking the laser in the wall and going, you know, I mean, all that stuff. That's just cool. You know,
good.
But back in the day, we didn't have that with LucasArts. We do now.
We do.
Although I still say Hayden kind of
technology.
jacked up Anakin for me.
What happened though?
I still say Hayden kind of jacked up Anakin for me. I'm just like, man, you should.
It was the man. We could talk about Star Wars for a long time. I feel like it was the way the writing was. That Hayden.
I think it was the way the writing was, and I think it was I won't say the direction, but I guess you're right.
Because like Hayden, I feel like he did an okay job. Like he did good. I think he did good. I think he was just given some really cheesy dialogue, like "I hate sand." You know what I mean?
So it's coarse and it gets everywhere.
And it gets
I think he was younger. You know what I'm saying? I think he was so young, and it was such a big project. It was Star Wars, the next installment, and I think it was such a big order for him that, you know. And when you're young and don't know Star Wars, you know, I would love to meet him and go, hey man, what did they give you any information? Did you read the books? Did they tell you what, you know, what the different regions were, where you came from, who you are, and prior to, you know, just all that, you know.
Yeah.
You got to research your character. And I just wonder if they had the material to give him, or if they were just telling him, okay, look, this is a situation, all right, shoot. And I don't think that's how they were, but
yeah. I feel like by the third movie, he was starting to get the
Well, you know, the little kid who played Anakin in the very first movie was like traumatized. He was like traumatized.
Yeah. No, I didn't know that. He was incredible.
He did a great job.
Now this is pod racing.
Wait a second. He was traumatized after?
Yeah, because the criticism he got and the movie got, and it messed him up like a whole bunch.
That little kid was incredible. He was a better Anakin. No, I'm not even gonna say it. He was really good.
Yeah. Starring John Eric Bentley.
Very.
Sorry, man. Sorry, I don't know how we got into Star Wars.
I will say that Revenge of the Sith. I'm a weird one. It's probably my favorite Star Wars movie of all time.
It was a very.
I love Revenge of the Sith.
I'm not gonna lie, it was a very good movie.
I love it. I love all the cheesy dialogue. You were my brother, Anakin.
I love the action. Made the words just go away from me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Yoda versus Palpatine,
around,
Obi-Wan versus oh my god, I forgot. Oh, the guy with all the lightsabers, Grievous. Thank you.
Grievous.
And then you had Anakin versus Obi-Wan at the final showdown.
But think about it. So good. Think about this. When you watch a movie that has an unbelievable ensemble, and an okay lead, you wind up loving that movie because the lead is surrounded by nothing but talent. And you want to see all the different talent. So that's, movie making 101. If you have a character or people in the movie that aren't strong, surround them with other people that can bring it. And find a way, once you get to your final edit, to get those other people to build that story and to build that character. So that's just me.
Let's just make an animated Star Wars of our own and have John voice Mace Windu, because I want to hear that so bad now.
Speaking of Mace Windu, before we move on from Star Wars, I really want to see him come back in Mando. I don't think he's dead. He'd be really old, but he. I don't think he's dead, man.
No. Before he got thrown, didn't he get cut?
I mean, he got cut and electrocuted.
His arm got cut off. And
he definitely got beat up.
See, my whole thing was I thought the same thing too, D.
Yeah.
But after that arm was cut off, the fall, I'm like, he lost a lot of blood. You know what I mean? That was my thing. He lost a lot of blood. His arm was cut off. But I would love to see him come back too. I would love to see them do a character development on him like they did for Solo.
Oh, that would be so good. Standalone?
The standalone for Mace Windu. Because the Jedi were some bad dudes, man. They were incredible. But
I would love that.
That's the nerd boy in me. That's
As a fellow nerd boy, let me say they hype up Vader as like the greatest Jedi hunter of all time. Where's the Vader movie where it's like fresh, like a freshly cooked Anakin, just like getting in a suit, venting all his frustration, going around the galaxy.
Oh man, Rogue One Vader.
Right? Yeah, and just hacking down Jedis for 90 minutes.
But who is the Sith that wore basically like the Vader costume, who's bigger? There's another one.
Darth Bane? Like this is
Darth Sidious?
Are you talking about like
Sidious is the Emperor?
Yeah.
No, that's not him. Then it's another one who looks like Vader, but he's bigger, and I think his mask is great. I can't remember his name.
You got Darth Bane.
Sideshow collectible. What was his name?
Darth Bane, by any chance? Darth Bane, and then you had the guy from Knights of the Old Republic, Darth Revan.
I think it's him. He's bigger.
Actually, that sounds.
Yeah. I think it's him. Give me those stories.
I would love it too, man.
Because man, there's some.
I want to see Jedi, like an army of Jedi versus an army of Sith. Like we've only seen two Sith at one time because of the rule of two. But before the rule of two was introduced,
they're all over the place.
It was all over. It was chaos. I would love to see that.
It was like a Wild West movie, and that would actually bring back some Western mindsets. But anyway, Mandalorian is very Western. I just tried to get it last night. They're like, no, you have to have Disney Plus. I'm like, what? I can't illegally get it.
I can't.
Like, I just want to see, because I'm a Conan the Barbarian fan too, and I'm like, man, y'all haven't done Conan for a long time because Jason Momoa did not do it for me. And that was because of storyline.
Yeah, that movie in general.
Do a Conan, do a Red Sonja, do something. Yeah. Do a Call the Conqueror, remake that.
These are excellent, man. These are excellent. This is definitely stuff I would love to see too.
Shout out to whoever sends Mr. Bentley over here their login for Disney Plus so he could get called.
I was about to say, man.
My Disney Plus account.
That whole thing, man. The Mandalorian looks so good.
It is. It's some of the best Star Wars I've seen in a long time.
Why are people tripping about this last thing about Yoda eating the frog?
I mean, when you watch it, I wasn't tripping over it, but I was kind of like, what was the point? Like I'm trying to figure out whether or not they want it was supposed to be funny, but it just didn't land, or if it was part of his character development. But what the whole thing was is that this frog, has its last line of its legacy or lineage. I mean, and she has to deliver it to this planet, whatever. So basically, he's taken it as a passenger, and as a passenger, she puts it in storage, like the tank with all the eggs in it. And you see Yoda just like throughout the show, just pop an egg in his mouth and just eat it.
Oh,
And I'm like, I was like, I don't know if that's comic relief because what he's doing right now is kind of genocide, and I don't, I don't know if I'm liking that.
Green genocide.
Yeah.
All I saw was a little clip of Yoda with a frog in his mouth, and he spit it out. So I didn't understand, and I didn't know the frog talked or was doing all that. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He eats a lot on the show. He eats a lot. Okay. So I don't know. It might have been a different scene, but with the latest episode, he was eating this frog's eggs, and then of course on the show he also eats a baby spider straight out of the egg too, and I'm like, what is the point of this? I don't understand. Like, do I not like Yoda right now? Or
circle of life, baby. That's what they eat, man. Natural natty selection.
Yeah,
that's why he's 900 years old.
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
He's like 50 in the show, but he's still a baby. Yeah.
What was your favorite? I'm sorry. What did you say?
Oh, no, I was just making a joke. It said Natty Selection for natural selection. I said, yeah, it's my favorite beer, Natty Selection.
Natty. All right, John, we're going to go on to an actual question.
Okay.
I love it. All right, man, look, I'm certain that I've watched every interview. Like, all right, John, I watched every interview that you had leading up to the remake of Final Fantasy VII. I was so hyped for this game, like more hyped than I've ever been for pretty much anything, right? So I watched a lot of interviews with you, and what I resonated with you personally over the other cast members who did excellent jobs, but for you personally, you always talked about your love for the original, and I believe that from gathering the information from all these interviews, you were the only person that actually played the original really? out of the main cast, at least.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I know I know Aerith
didn't, and then Bree didn't.
Right. I don't know if Cody did
or not.
He didn't do very many interviews.
No, Cody didn't do a lot of interviews. He's working, man. So Cody is like Keanu Reeves, just so you guys know. I don't think a lot of people understand. He's a musician, he's a writer, he's a producer, he's a director, and he's an actor. As a matter of fact, a very, very busy on-camera actor. And he does all those other things. And now he's adding voiceover to his repertoire. And he's young and he's a go-getter. So he's a lot like how Keanu was when he would tour with his band and then do The Matrix, or, he's a lot like that. He is a force to reckon with. He is going to be a very powerful person in show business, because he is just hungry for ideas. He's pure. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. So.
I didn't know it until I was just like kind of looking up what Cody has been in. But my wife was watching the show. You know how when you're playing a game and you can kind of see it in your peripherals that what she's watching. She was watching a show called Pretty Little Liars, and I recognized the guy, and then like when I saw it, like Cloud was going to be voiced by Cody Christian, I was like, God, he looks so familiar. I don't know where I've seen him from, and it was from Pretty Little Liars. I'm like, oh, okay, and but yeah, that was interesting.
Nothing like Cloud in that.
Nothing like Cloud at all. Yeah, he did an amazing job. I would love to get him on the show if I know you said he's super busy, but like I would love to ask him personally, man. Like, hey,
I caught Cody at a time when no one should have ever caught Cody when we get to hang out, and it was on Thanksgiving Day when we had to go and record, and I had just finished, or I was coming in and he was there. Oh no, I was picking up. I was coming to pick up the translators to take them to a Thanksgiving dinner because they live in Japan. I was like, you guys can't be here. And, one of them was like, man, I'm going to go back to my room.
Man, John is such a good person, man. Like,
he was going to go get a chicken from Costco or something, from the Vons or something, and cook it and have it in his room. I'm like, come on, man, just come with me and my family. We're going to do Thanksgiving in Orange County. Awesome. So... And Cody was there recording, and that I got to hang out. Cody and I, that was the longest, I think, aside from when we did when we went to go see the thing at E3. They did this special thing where we had to go and do promo for it, and they made the announcement. And so it was fun to be able to see him, but he's busy. He's super busy. I would love for him to be on more shows, but when I mean he's busy, this dude is busy.
Nice. Yeah, he didn't do very many interviews, that's for sure. So I didn't really get to find out if he played the original game or not.
Yeah, I don't know how many people did. It's like some of the other characters didn't. Vic Chow didn't play it.
Well, see, I was like, as far as like Brianna White and Britt Baron go, I know that they didn't play it, and I was kind of thinking that Cody didn't play it based off. I think like I saw one interview that he did.
Yeah, I don't know if he did. I know Breezy and Britt, they're young, so I know they wouldn't have really.
Yeah.
And I think
Bree did that. What's that?
This is Britt's first job doing like major voiceover.
Yeah.
She's on what's the name of the girls doing the roller?
Glow.
She's on Glow. I mean, she's like Cody. She works on camera a lot.
Mm-hmm. I think in the interview that I read about Britt, she said that when growing up, she wasn't allowed to play it. So that's why
I met her parents, so I don't doubt it.
Okay.
But they're like, "No, we're gonna make sure you stay on the straight and narrow, girl."
Yeah. But I definitely resonated with you personally because you were all like you were just genuinely excited about this the game that you grew up with loving being remade. So one question I did have for you was because it was a complete shock to me. I've already discussed it on the show a bunch of times of how the ending or the twist in the game really like just threw me for a loop. Right? I was I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I was mad, and
Bro.
because this. So, yeah, I mean, look, I'm gonna turn it over to you right now.
So we're gonna do it without making it a spoiler,
right? But
no one told me.
No one told you.
Wow.
When I went in to record, so I go in to record, and it's probably the end of our session. Mind you, my sessions were long. My sessions were very long, and Barret does not talk like this. So it was like, okay, I'm going to
your throat.
See you later. My wife was like, how you doing?
Give the thumbs up. Nope, lost my voice.
My throat, So, but I remember they're like, okay, you watch it because when you go into the booth, you hear the Japanese and you have that much time to get your lines in English. So you have to hear it to time it out how you would say it. And I'm going, okay, all right, I got it. What? And I'm going, that didn't happen in the, wait a minute. And they're looking at me like,
oh man, so they wanted to see your surprise.
Reaction. So I had to play it off like, oh, I did not expect that.
Joke's on you.
I did not expect that.
So what were you feeling like? I mean, because I know you.
Damn, there goes the job.
I mean, I don't think it would be unless if you literally just can't talk about spoilers. But we can full spoiler right now on remake just part 1, or I
don't want to because believe it or not, there's a lot of people that didn't play it. But when that scene came up with Barret in President Shinra's office,
yes.
I was shocked. I'm like, no. First, I was like, he doesn't. He's the leader. And then my other thing was, dang it. Okay, financially.
Wait a second, you guys.
Family, right?
Come out, guys. We agree. Hold on.
Is it over? And so shortly after, you see what's happening, and I'm going, oh my God. And I said, guys, I need a break.
I'm gonna need to step out for a second.
And they're like, John, we wanted to see what you're gonna do, and then I'm like, well, you saw, right? Because that was messed up what y'all did. And so I literally took a break, like, because you're talking about studying, putting in crazy hours, just researching the character. Mo knows what I'm talking about with the whole Greek and Roman mythology stuff. With where Barret came from, all these different things. I'm like, well, that was one of the biggest things for me when I was a kid, that this black character does not
die.
I'm like, wait a second.
Oh, wait, my bad.
So it threw me. Yeah, he just totally jacked it up.
I'm just gonna throw. We've talked about remake to an extent on this show because I feel like
good.
Yeah.
So when that happened, it messed me up, and I'm like, oh. So literally, I took a break. I went to the kitchen and I grabbed a water, Perrier water, and I was just jacked up. And in this particular place where we recorded, they have this big old bowl of chocolate covered almonds, and I got a cup, a coffee cup, and just poured all the almonds in the cup. I'm like, I need a minute. So I took my little sparkling water and my cup of chocolate. I'm like, and I'm
Get me
walking
my-
around
yeah.
like, I'll be right back. And I just started walking like, oh, that messed me up. You know, I was like, I thought it was the end. And
I need to stress eat. Give me a minute.
yeah, I literally, I turned into like that lady who's like, I need some ice cream,
Bring me my stress almonds.
my pajamas, and a good movie. And so I was just like, you know, it jacked me up. And then, you know, of course, I saw that wasn't the case. And I'm like, audibly, they heard me go, oh, Lord. I'm like, that's not how it's supposed to work. But it was great because we needed a little twist. We needed a little something different from what we got back in '97. Mm-hmm. We needed to bring it to today. We needed to have plot twists. We needed that. So it was cool. It was cool. But yeah, it jacked me. The way it jacked you up, picture 20 times that in the booth. In the booth, actually doing it, going.
It jacked us all up, man.
Yeah.
It jacked me up. And you don't really know until later, right?
Yeah. I had no idea what was going on, man. There was a lot of things happening, and I was just, for me personally, I was expecting a remake, and I feel like for you as well as the voice going into, and you loved the original voice of Barret, you know, I thought, you know, I wondered if you kind of had the same thing going into it, like really excited to.
I didn't
to
know
remake.
they would do that. Oh, you don't understand how excited I was to remake it.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh my god, I'm gonna relive all of these moments in the original, and now you find out that. Wait a second.
That happens.
Yeah, and you're like,
Wait a minute. We didn't even get to the races.
yeah,
You know, I'm like,
what's going on?
where's the sailor suit? I didn't see a
What are
sailor
you-
suit. No chocobo.
I got to show that it fits like a glove, man.
Right. I'm like, yo, where's the little cat that's walking around? Something's
Yes.
wrong.
It's actually funny because I played remake and beat it and then I decided because I didn't want to watch anybody live stream anything on Twitch or Mixer or anything because I knew that it was gonna get spoiled because I knew there were a lot of people who had early access to it and they were probably so far along. So I beat it, and then after I had beaten it, I like to watch my friends on Mixer just to support them and everything, and and I go to my friends. And she's crying, and the first thing I hear is, "How could they do that to Barret?" And I was like, "I know what just happened." But she was actually crying, like she had to take a moment, and like she was crying. She was like, "I need to go take a moment," because she didn't want to like film and cry and everything like that. But you know, it was powerful to some people. You say it messed you up and everything. It messed her up too.
Oh, listen,
It messed up
but you know what's
everybody.
cool? That's exactly what they wanted. That's why they didn't tell me up front. They wanted it to be genuine. They wanted it to be a surprise. They wanted it to be realistic shock. Even how it happened, it's like, you know, I'm going along with it, and I hadn't seen it. And I like to not look at the whole thing first. If it's just reactions, if it's lines, you kind of got to.
Right.
But I'm like looking at it like I'm going to give the reactions. Just roll it and I'll just chase it. And I'm like, oh, and it was real. I'm like, that was real when that happened. And I'm like, oh, and they're like, oh, we got exactly what we wanted. So a lot of people have reached out to me and said, did you know? Because that was so, and we were crying. I'm like, oh, goodness, I was crying too. But yeah, so that's interesting. But yeah, that got, and then the scene with Maureen thinking that she is behind the wall, the plates, when the plates fell.
Oh yeah,
that was,
excellent.
That was like, those were like moments that, you know, and there's a few other ones. Even the conversation with Tifa, when I'm telling her about calming her, taking control of her anger, basically, and a good man without sin. That there's so many lines. Everybody's like, what's your favorite line? There's way too many to. One of the favorite scenes are with me and Red going at it and me and Cloud going at it.
Yes.
Those are some fun scenes.
The banter, yeah.
Oh yeah, the banter is just that's
so
fun.
You got to work with Cody. You spoke about maybe Thanksgiving and stuff like that, but did you ever actually get to work with the other actors in the booth? No,
never in the booth.
The chemistry was so good. You would almost think that you guys were in the same room.
You totally would, but that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You got to credit the writers, both
absolutely.
Japanese and the States. I mean, it's just the team is genius, and I really hope the game gets more recognition. It's really weird at the video game awards and stuff like that. People honor what they're seeing now, and it's like no, don't forget about, and it's like the writing, just unbelievable. The creator of Final Fantasy VII, the creator of Final Fantasy. I mean, for each installment, they're incredible. And I remember people who were writing, well, I'm going to just play it in Japanese. I don't like the translation. I don't like the English. And then people got it, and they're like, I have to apologize to you, John. I thought that they should have kept, a dear friend of mine, Bo Billingsley, and Bo is like a mentor. He's the bomb. People don't understand. My relationship with Bo is like, what should I do? You know what I mean? Or how can I, and whether it's video game or on camera, I look up to him. So everyone wants to pit people against, or no, don't change it. It should be this. It's like, well, everything's got to change.
Yeah.
Things have to change. And I would say the same thing if I was doing a project and say, hey, you know what? I've been in that situation where, it's like, no, John, we wanted to go a different direction. I get it. I understand it. Whether it works or not, I don't know. Of course you want that job, but everybody, once again, has got their own opinion, got their own things, the things they like, and you can't knock that. That's what they like. But yeah, man, that scene jacked me up, and a lot of the other scenes, I had to go places to get the realistic performance that we need to get.
Yeah, I mean, and excellent performances, John.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, man. So going on to kind of piggybacking off of it, but we're avoiding any kind of spoilers or anything. So I'm going to ask you about the original game. When it comes to the original game, after the party's escape from Midgar, what is your favorite moment in the original Final Fantasy VII?
Oh man, the Chocobo stuff. The Chocobo stuff is just when they go to that whole I forgot where it is.
Gold Saucer?
Yes, when they go to the Gold Saucer, to be able to play the mini games and stuff like that, that's, for me as a fan, those are my favorite. I'm like, oh wow, they got mini games inside this big old epic, so that was cool to me because of my Atari days and because I like puzzles and because my mom would always quiz me and give me crossword puzzles, and so those mini games were some of my favorite time. That, and then Red. I think Red is one of the coolest characters.
Yes.
Well,
we've had a you don't have to comment on this, but this is just something that we were talking about on the show. Like how amazing it would be is if the Gold Saucer was a multiplayer arena, like where everybody can kind of create your own avatar, go to the
so cool.
Right?
It'd be like Little Big Planet when they did that thing where you can create. That would be cool.
Yeah, and then and I just really want to see Barret riding a chocobo because I don't think we ever got to see that in the original. You know what I mean?
We all want to see Barret riding a chocobo.
Can you imagine that? That's
Right.
what I should cosplay as. Barret
riding the chocobo. And now
that would be.
It's like the horse
Chocobo would be
outfit
bad
where
as
it's
hell.
like two people in in the suit. But
Yeah.
I'll be the chocobo if you need, John. I'll be willing to do that.
Barret,
I got time
Barret
on my
is like
schedule.
300 plus pounds. I think Barret is probably like 320.
The chocobo won't be moving fast, but
Get off my back!
this is a not so great chocobo.
Right. Chocobo in the hood, man. You can't get off me.
In Final Fantasy 15, Prompto sings the chocobo song. I would love for you, if you ever had a chance to Mad Lib. If you don't have to comment. If you do ride a chocobo in the next one, I want to hear I like to ride my chocobo all day. Yeah, just listen to Prompto sing it. He does a great job.
That's hilarious.
So all right.
I think Barret would do it different.
Yeah, oh absolutely. But we got to get a chocobo song.
Speaking of chocobos and like side critters, if you will, I still think like the most thug nasty like race in all of Final Fantasy is the Koopos or the Moogles. These dudes were just like straight up being a cave. Like, I'm sharpening my knife, Koopo. Like, what's up, my Koopo? Like,
Boots. Yeah, Koopos are. Yeah, they look all cuddly. They're like Puss in Boots and from Shrek. When
I just imagine walking up to each other, straight up being like, "What up, my Koopo?"
Like,
Speaking of
little Koopo, jump on my shoulder. We got somewhere to go. That would be fun. I like the Koopo.
That's what's up.
Speaking of the gold saucer, Vinny.
So
Your burning question.
my burning question is, in the original, some people got Aerith to go on a date with them. Some people got Tifa. I want to know, what would your ideal gold saucer date with Cloud be?
See, because it's in the gold saucer, so it's different. We just play games.
It's a bro,
Just play games?
Yeah, man.
Just play
Ride
They'd have
chocobos.
I don't know. I always laugh at it, especially the sailor stuff. I always laugh at it. I think that Barret is always looking for a fight. So I think it would be like in the original. I think it would be cool if they showed them fighting side by side as opposed to,
A little friendly duel.
Yeah, that would be fun. But
cool.
I mean, I like the whole squat stuff that they're doing in the.
Oh my god, a squatting competition between us.
Those are fun.
Digital games.
Yeah. We're gonna have a squat competition right now. I'll stand on the ground and you stand over there over that fire. That would be funny. I know the odds are a little different, but we gotta balance it out.
Right.
Rookie.
Oh man. Okay, so let's move on to the Mad Libs game, John. This is gonna be a fun one, man. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take a quote that Barret says from the game. I'm going to ask you for words to replace within this quote, and then I'm going to send it over to you. I might have to send it over to. I might just share my screen. I think that'd probably be the easiest way for you to read it off.
Okay.
And you have to read it off in Barrett's voice.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to ask for a couple things. I'm going to ask for a noun.
Okay.
All right. So noun, person, place, or thing.
Oh, it's for right. Oh, you're just gonna mix it in there.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for the words, mix it in, and then send it to you at the end, and you're going to have to read it in Barrett's voice.
Okay. Kupo.
Okay. All right. Let's go with a verb. It's what you do.
Destroy.
I mean, that's really good.
That's better.
In the context, you'll see it's like, oh, okay, well, that's kind of obvious. Verb. There'll be a lot of these. Race.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Verb.
Jump.
Okay. Another verb. Sorry, there's a lot of these.
Fight.
And then a verb ending in ing.
Winning.
Okay. Let's get a different one. Verb ending ing.
Sleeping.
Sleeping. All right. Noun.
Materia.
Color.
Blue.
Okay. Adjective.
Ugly.
That's a good one. All right. A posture, like sitting, standing, kneeling, squatting, anything.
Squatting.
Squat. All right.
for that fire.
And then an exclamation.
Damn it.
Yeah, okay. All right, that's good. That's good. And then we're gonna go ahead and get the other quote as well while we're at it. Let's do a verb.
Beat. I'm just thinking Barret.
Adjective.
Hungry. Or hungrily.
Nah, yeah, hungry works good on that one. Noun.
Chocobo. Everything in your thing now.
Oh my goodness.
Verb.
Verb. Rest.
Nice. Let's go with a body part.
Pecs.
The pecs.
Sounds like a good one.
A job title.
Boss.
Let's get a different one.
President.
Okay. Noun.
Trying to think in the realm of reactor.
And then verb.
Build.
That's good, man. That's deep, actually. All right, so all right, so I'm gonna share my screen, and then you'll read the one that I have highlighted. Let me highlight it.
You are the real MVP, by the way. Just throwing this out there. You'll see.
This is great.
Oh, really? Okay. You got me all excited. To do
This is gonna be funny.
All right. So the one that's highlighted. Sorry. He's going to read it first. Not going to get that shock at all. Like, I'm not going to be surprised again.
Right.
This is going to be great. The audio listeners are going to be like, what's happening?
Okay,
It's just
ready?
us laughing and giggling.
This Kupo's sole purpose is to destroy the planet dry. While you race, while you jump, while you fight, it's here, sleeping up Mako. It doesn't rest and it doesn't care. You do realize what Mako is, don't you? Mako is the materia blood of our world. The planet bleeds green like you and me bleed blue. The hell you think's gonna happen when it's all ugly, huh? Answer me. You gonna squat there and pretend, and pretend you can't hear the planet cry, damn it?
Oh, sorry.
God damn it, out in pain? I know you can. That's funny. I couldn't do it with a straight face.
How are you just gonna squat there and expect?
You're going to squat there?
Squat there.
How are you going to squat there, man? All right, you can do this one too.
A good man who beats a hungry eagle is not without chocobos. He must rest and accept his complicity. He must open his pecs to the truth that his corporate president is profiting from the planet's reactor. Only then can he build himself. I know you know this.
That one was incredibly deep and accurate to the.
Yeah, I'm like,
so
oh,
close.
okay.
It was pretty close to the actual quote. Yes.
I was hungry
was-
chocobos.
That was great. All right.
That's hilarious. That first one was.
that's good.
That was funny.
You gonna squat
good.
there
You going to squat there?
and act like you can't hear the planet crying out for gains?
I was like, I couldn't. Vinny, this is for you and the troop.
There we go.
That's
See,
amazing.
When the moment was right, he struck like a cobra.
When the moment was right, he struck.
That's for the
The
crew.
moment was right. He's
That's for the first responders and all in.
See, that's
Thank
foreshadowing
you.
for it. That's Hitchcock's.
John. That was great. Oh man. So we got 2 fan submitted questions for you, John, and then we'll close out the show.
Okay.
All right. So this one is from @FinalFrank to see. All right.
Final Frank to see. What up, Frank?
What up, Frank? This is, if Barret was taken over by another voice actor before the game got released, and they gave you a choice to voice another character in the game,
It would be Cody.
it would have been Cloud. It would have been Cloud Strife, of course.
You can't tell me you don't hear the planet crying out.
No.
I know. I know.
Yo, Cody, you better get unbusy, man.
Really hear that?
Of course I do.
Can you, in that voice, could you do the squat line? You just gonna squat there?
Yeah, put it up there again.
All right. You're going to do it in Cody's voice?
Do it,
That's
Cody.
what
I should get a
last
Cloud quote to get you to
Just
do
that last
But you
sentence.
have to end it with nailed it. That's all I'm saying.
it. Yeah. All right, hold on. Make sure I got the right one.
Dude, Cody's a bomb, dude.
All right, here we go. Where's it at again?
At
The
the-
squat.
The last sentence.
Oh,
Yeah, there it is.
you gonna squat there? Can't hear the.
You can't laugh. I gotta do it.
I'm sorry.
You gonna squat there and pretend you can't hear the planet cry, damn it out in pain? I know you can.
I know you can.
The best day of my life.
That's excellent. Oh god. Oh man, you know what? I might as well kept sharing it because the next fan question is going to be for you to read out in Barrett's voice. This is a fan question from one of Osby's friends. So Osby,
Yes, and it's very interesting too because his last name is Jarrett, very similar to Barrett, just with a J. And Tyler's my best friend. He's been my best friend for almost 20 years. And when he found out I was getting to speak with you, sir, he said, "Oh my God, I wish that I could be there." And I said, "Okay, well, if there's something that you would like me to possibly ask this man," and he goes, "You got to do the quote." And I knew exactly what he was talking about. This is one of his favorite lines from the entire original OG Final Fantasy VII. He was like, "I wish I could have heard Barrett say that in the remake."
Okay.
And Barrett looks through and sees Genova,
insert your own cuss word, I guess.
turns around and sees Cloud.
Where's this nasty ass, funky ass head? This whole thing is stupid. Let's keep going.
Yes, thank you so much.
Genova, yeah, I can't think of better adjectives for Genova than nasty ass, funky ass.
Fuck yeah,
Sure.
that's it.
What's the next one? This
And then
one?
the next one is just one of my favorite lines from the first game.
I just recognize the scene. Hell, I've been here since the beginning, and I still don't know what the hell's going on either. Let me do it. Hell, I've been here since the beginning, and I still don't know what the hell's going on either. So you tell me you got double.
I'm so happy you did it again too, because the first time your voice glitched out a little bit. Perfect.
If we're doing Barrett requests, I have one that I have to ask, and I think my brother's going to watch this. Our dad is just the nicest guy, but he says some acts. He's like the least funny person in the world, which makes him hilarious. So the things that he says out in anger are often like the funniest things you'll ever hear. So one time, I can't remember, he stubbed his toe, and in anger, this man yelled out, "Jiminy Crickets, doggone it!"
Is he from Minnesota?
No, he's from North Carolina. But I was
that's
wondering if you could say that in Barrett's voice so we can show it to my dad.
What's your dad's name?
Ricky.
Okay. Hey, Ricky, this is for you. Oh, I stubbed my toe. Jiminy Cricket, dag nabbit.
Oh god. Yo, man.
My family. That's what I'm thankful for this Thanksgiving.
I'm thankful for that.
I'm thankful I got to talk to John Eric Bentley today.
Reed is thankful for his daddy stubbing his toe.
And Jiminy Cricket as a swear word.
Jiminy Cricket, God dag nabbit.
My mother-in-law.
What in the Sam Hill?
My mother-in-law. Gold
I still haven't met Sam Hill.
Oh my God, man! This has been everything I wanted it to be.
Yeah, you can have a 4-parter as much as we talk,
Hey,
baby.
hey, this
Yes.
has been everything and more. So make sure to like and subscribe. You know what I'm saying?
Well, now that I have all the stuff, from what D sent me, then I'll make sure that I because I've been posting everything that you've sent or retweeting. So I'm still new at all that stuff too, man. But yeah, for sure, you guys are the bomb. It's been fun. I usually don't even stay on this long, so I really appreciate you guys and your hearts and allowing me to come on and hang, especially during all this craziness that's going on in the world. So it's been fun, man.
Yeah, John, we really appreciate you taking time out of your day to be with us today, and it's just
You got it.
This was huge for us. This was
Great.
you made a lot of people happy today.
Cool, man. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Deuces.
Thank you, John.
Y'all.
Take care, John.
Be safe.
Bye,
Stay
John.
healthy out there, okay?
You too,
Yes,
man.
sir.
God
All
bless.
right. See y'all. Thanks again.
All right.
Take care, John.